Alright, so practice test 1 for derivatives. This will be the solution to problem number 13. Oh, I wrote f of x twice, didn't I? Okay. So I've got f of x equals the square root of x over the square root of x minus 1. Alright, so here we can see that we have to use the quotient rule. So remember the quotient rule, that's the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the derivative of the denominator times the numerator. Now, first thing that you might do is change the square roots to x to the 1/2. Well, yes, you can do that, but there is a shortcut to finding the derivative of a square root. Okay, uh, I have a video on it. If you'll search my videos, shortcut for finding the derivative for a square root, I go into a lot more detail in that one. I won't go into so much detail here, but you can check that video out. So f prime of x, I'll explain it a little bit how I do this with the shortcut. Okay, so f prime of x, that's the derivative of the numerator. Okay, so to take the derivative of the square root, take the derivative of the square root of x. All right, so whatever the square root is, that goes in the denominator. The square root and whatever's under it. In this case, it's just x. And you multiply it times 2. Then in the numerator, you put the derivative of what's underneath the square root. So the derivative of x is 1. So this is the derivative of the square root. And like I said, check out that video, shortcut for finding the derivative of a square root. I've worked several examples. All right, so that's the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus, now it's the derivative of the denominator. Well, so the derivative of square root, I'm going to do it just like I did here. So that's going to be 1 over 2 square root of x. And then the derivative of 1 is 0. And then that is times the numerator. Okay, so let's go over that again. So I've got the derivative of the numerator times the denominator minus the derivative of the denominator times the numerator. And that is all over the denominator squared. Okay, so now let's come over here and distribute, and let's multiply here. So I get f prime of x is equal to, well, when I distribute here, the square roots cancel out, so I'm left with a half. And then minus, and then here I've got 1 over 2 square root of x minus, and then here the square root of x's cancel out. I'm left with a half, and then that's over square root of x minus 1 squared. Alright, so then I have f prime of x is equal to, well, you see here the 1/2s, they go to 0, so I'm left with negative 1 over 2 square root of x over the square root of x, the square root of x minus 1 squared. Alright, so here we can look at this as being over 1. Remember how to do this. So that's f prime of x is equal to negative 1 over 2 square root of x. Okay, so remember, it's this divided by this, which is the same thing as this times the reciprocal of this. So that's 1 over square root of x minus 1 squared. And so I get f prime of x is equal to negative 1 over 2 square root of x times square root of x minus 1 squared. Alright, so hope that helped. And like I said, for the shortcut for taking the derivative of a square root, check out my website for that. I mean, I'm sorry, check out my video, the video for that on my YouTube channel. All right, so I hope this helped. Give me a like and subscribe, and check out my other videos. Thanks.